Oh, I'm here.
Okay, cool. We're miss. God damn it. 1 second. There we go. Had to reverse my microphone mute. So who are we missing?
I think we're missing Michael M.
Michael
Pretty sure
M.
that's the guy with the accent, right?
I've had him in a game before, I think. I should have him in my contacts.
I'm pretty sure I was playing with him last week as well. He's the only one I haven't heard check in. Also, someone
Isn't the role
someone
20?
should set their mic to mute because I hear an echo.
Does somebody have the stream open too?
I'm
Yeah.
not even sure the stream is.
I'm streaming now.
Yeah, but I don't know the Twitch or.
Oh,
I just checked on it. Yeah, you're streaming.
okay, cool. But you won't want to look at it because you'll see
No,
everything.
Kind of knowledge. I was just making sure it works for you, buddy. I'm actually kind of curious. Does anyone actually watch our live streams, or is it really just there for archive purposes?
I think probably some administrative people at Adventures League probably watch it. I don't know.
I would assume so.
It gets a few views every day, so somebody's watching it.
Well, I've linked it to a few people. Although they call me nuts for linking them to a 7-hour stream, usually.
I did have him. I don't know why he wasn't. There we go.
So did everyone from the original menu actually appear?
I'm an alternate.
Well, I know that.
I never
just-
heard from this guy, Nira Igneal, who was supposed to be playing a sorcerer. I didn't hear anything from him, and he hasn't logged in, so I'm assuming. Well,
Unfortunate.
it's already they're already late, so I'm going with the alternate.
Fair enough.
Sam, do you have control over this token? I just gave you control of it. I didn't notice earlier.
Which one? Oh, yep.
The one with the with the big sword.
Welcome to the circle of safety.
Yay.
Oh god, you got your owl. Hey, the owls are different token this time.
Yeah, it's a white one this time.
Alright, somebody played Corruption in Crypt Garden. I looked at the log sheets. Who did that? I saw somebody had Corruption in Crypt Garden on one of their log sheets. I think it was
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. Did you do anything special in that scenario that, there was a few, like, do you remember anything about that? I never played it, so I'm just...
Like, just in general, what happened? Like, it was a big BI.
Well, there was some guy you were seeking out or something, I think.
No spoilers.
Well, I just there's
I still
something
haven't played it.
there's something that may or may not, depending on what you do, might. I just was wondering if I'll just send you a tell. Who is this?
Yeah, this is Keith L. Honestly, I was half drunk at Dragon Con, so I probably missed it if the DM told me anything. I assisted. It was on. I thought my log sheet. That might have been a different encounter.
Wait, can we take our adventurers from online and play them offline as well?
Yep.
Strange. I thought they would have been exclusive to their area. Oh well. That's awesome.
How
I
do
think
I
you're
reply to
offline
you?
and online too.
Well, yeah, it's decoy. I would assume so. If you could do it the vice versa.
I remember saving his princess, and then he gave out a
The
necklace
spoilers.
thing. Sorry. I can't remember, so probably not. I'll just say no.
Okay, cool. Then it probably won't matter, but we'll see.
Halfway through the session, you're gonna go, oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so we are starting. The majority of you will probably. Give me a second.
That was a very
Okay, so is anyone here Emerald Enclave?
This guy.
Okay, you will be contacted by a representative of your faction who has received word that the residents of Cable's Hill are planning an excursion into the Quivering Forest, and they say they don't know why they are going, but their presence in the forest is sure to outrage the Dark Fae who live in the forest. And that could be a political nightmare, as there is a pact between the people of Flan and the Fae of the Quivering Forest that the Fae will protect them from any enemy entities that attempt to move through the forest to attack Flan. The Fae will defend Flan as long as the mortals outside the forest stay outside the forest. So that's kind of a. We want to protect our sacred grounds in the forest. You're not allowed to come in. If any enemies decide they want to attack you through our forest, we will kill them for you. And basically, this excursion into the forest that they've heard about is like a violation of the pact. So they would like you to go investigate.
You know, pact breakers, lawbreakers, they deserve no pity. I will go with the iron fist of the law and deliver furious justice upon them.
All right. Well, we eagerly await your report. Everyone else, the most likely situation will be that you are in Flan looking for work, and you will. When you're asking various people you run into, like in the tavern or while you're out shopping or just living your daily lives, you will catch wind that the Knights of the Black Fist might be they might be looking for some able-bodied individuals that would be able to investigate rumors of kidnappings that have been occurring in a small village in the area. And upon further investigation, you determine the name of the village is Cable's Hill, and you are given a contact actually, you are not given a contact. You are told. You are asked to investigate, and yeah, you will be given a contact named Hupe Brightbell.
You spell that
to-
out. So
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat. And they inform you that these two run a local inn and may be able to direct you, may be able to point you in the right direction on who to talk to and assist with your investigation.
Vale, vale.
those two are eerily similar in the last name.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Those names are eerily similar last names that are not the same, but are.
They should be the same. I probably made a typo. Let me.
Is it supposed to be Light Bell or
No,
Bright Bell?
Bright Bell is the correct.
That makes them seem much less suspicious.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So you find yourselves leaving Flan or leaving your faction's contact and making your way toward Cable's Hill.
It's not actually on this map.
It's not on this map, but it is somewhere along the border of this quivering forest. Or not really on the border, but it's in close proximity to it, at least.
Alright. I guess we're gonna head out there.
To the
Where
hill.
are we? So we're at a town. I don't really know the geography of the location, so...
Where are we right now?
You are in the general area depicted on the map. This is Flan, so you will have started your mission from here, and the city is somewhere around the quivering forest. It doesn't say where, but
Am I with
it's
them
somewhere.
already?
Is the party together right now? Because I don't really know these people yet.
You will probably all have similar contact with the Black Fist, who will ask you to investigate, and they will kind of group you all together and say, okay, well, you're all being charged with investigating this mission. Or investigating these kidnappings.
Alright.
Did the Black Fists send anybody with them? With us? Or is it just the party?
No, just the party, and they said we don't have a whole lot of information. Our resources are stretched pretty thin, so you'll have to reach out to the locals in order to get more information and help us resolve this issue.
Well, I'm all for just heading out to that location, finding out what's up.
Off to the hill.
All right. Oh, apparently it does have a bit of a description. So it is a small, lightly fortified hamlet that is settled roughly a day and a half north along the narrow stretch of the Strojanau River. So it's apparently up here somewhere. So I just didn't
All right.
notice earlier. So you're somewhere around this area.
That's our starting location over here.
Yes.
And our destination would be...
No, you're starting from Flan, and the town you're on your way to is somewhere along this river.
Oh, nice. I vote we take a boat.
I second that. Beats walking.
No?
Does anyone have like the sailor's background that would?
Sounds nice.
Does anyone have a sailor's background?
Come from the Outlands.
You too?
Yep.
Well, there goes that plan. Unless
Unless we want to pay for it.
yeah, I would rather not. I guess some exercise would be good for us.
I'd say if it's a day and a half, it's probably like 2 miles. So I'll say it's probably, or not 2 miles. What, like probably 20 miles to the town. So it's, I don't know. We'll say 2 silver pieces per person if you want to take if you want to take a barge or small boat there.
1 gold coin's worth 10 silver, right?
Yep.
I'll pay for my passage.
Yeah, I'll
Okay for
pay for
that.
passage.
Sounds good.
I pay too.
All right, cool.
How much silver did you say? Sorry.
I'm gonna just say the trip will be 2 silver pieces. I'm just basing that off of I quick looked up how much ship's passage costs, and that seems like a good number.
Nice.
All right, so you make your way down the river toward Cable's Hill, and you eventually come upon a small collection of houses and barns that sit atop a low rise on the western bank of the river. And looking out, you see the quivering forest, which seems about an hour's horse ride from the town. So it's pretty close to this massive just wall of trees that you see. It's just, you look to the left, you look to the right, it's just the trees seem to go on forever.
Alright.
And you eventually make your way into the docks. Crap. Now I forgot all about different positions on a ship. So you're the ship, the people controlling the ship, as I've forgotten my naval lingo, are directing the ship into dock, and you disembark.
Awesome. Well, time to ask the locals where the location of our contacts would be.
All right. So you walk up to one of the dock workers that are unloading cargo, and you just ask, "What are you asking?"
The location of the Bright Bills establishment.
Ah, you mean the leaky bucket? Yeah, that's right up the go up the path there, and they direct you. Yeah, go past the granaries and just down this other street, and they give you directions to the leaky bucket.
Okay, so I'll head there immediately.
Do I
Yeah,
assume
I'll
everybody
follow.
else?
I'll follow.
How does the town look like, or the hamlet look like, as I'm walking through the streets?
You see the architecture is mostly double layers of roughly planed half logs, and the gaps are filled in with mud and dirt, with steep peaked roofs of thin wooden shingles to keep the snow from mounting too high. And you also see the wall is partially surrounded by a palisade wall that is about 10 feet high, and about every 80 feet there are platforms with ladders going up where defenders could climb up and shoot from cover.
Are there any ballistas on this fortification of the wall?
You see probably maybe one or two defensively fortified siege weapons. It is also lightly raining when you arrive, and you're walking through the town. It looks like people are still trying to. It looks like there probably a storm rolled through or something, because like everyone's covering their wood, and it seems like, you know, everyone has weathered their shops and their anything that's not like stored indoors has been covered.
How well supplied is the town? By that I mean the quality of the goods we should expect.
It's you see a little bit in the distance. You see some granaries, and then you see pretty decent sized fields that are just full of wheat and vegetables. So that you get a feeling that this town's doing pretty well for itself economically.
All right.
And you can you could probably find, you know, just about whatever you would need in the player's handbook. You know just from talking to the locals that there's a local blacksmith and probably general store. You could probably find just about anything if you needed to buy something.
All right. In that case,
Well, as I'm taking the sights, I'm still continuing walking towards the leaky bucket.
I would like to find a shop that is selling ball bearings, a bag of them.
Okay, is that an item listed in the handbook? I'm not sure.
Yep, adventuring gear, ball bearings, bag of 1,000 of them.
Okay. You make your way to Colvin's General Goods. And you walk in and you see, you know, shelves of various odds and ends like rope and grappling hooks and, you know, traveling backpacks and bedrolls and just all sorts of just random, you know, adventuring gear. And you're greeted by this well-dressed human in probably a merchant's outfit. He says, welcome. What can I do for you?"
I would like to buy a bag of ball bearings and 3 oil flasks.
Let me see if I got that in stock. He signals to an assistant to go check in the back, and he hands him a piece of paper and he says, "Go find this gentleman. See if we have what he needs." A couple minutes go by. He comes back out and he's like, "Yep, he's got a couple of bags with him." And you wanted what? 3 flasks of oil?
Yes. And
Yeah,
while I'm at it,
you'll
I
be
might
able to
as
get all
well
that.
also buy some robes.
All right. You'll be able to buy whatever you need before you go to the inn.
All right.
So you all make your way to the inn, and the inn sign, if it can be called that, is simply an old bucket dangling from a post that has been driven into the ground in front of the 2-story building. The word "inn" has been painted on its side in what appears to be pitch. Rain has filled the bucket to the top, and water trickles out from more than a dozen places. Before you even enter the place, you can hear a number of excited and angry voices emanating from inside. Above them all, one voice bellows, "It's been over 10 days! What do you plan to do?"
I would like to listen to this conversation.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
Is there a bar?
What'd you say, you go in?
Is there a bar?
Yeah, it's a tavern.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go order a drink.
I'll try to
Okay.
listen to the argument.
As you
Climb up
look
onto the
inside,
bar stool.
you see that all the locals are sort of gathered around, and they seem to be addressing these two people, who are a couple of halflings, male halfling and a female halfling.
They're yelling at them.
It seems that people are arguing amongst themselves, and they seem to be gathered around those two.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to push my way through the crowd to help my countrymen.
As this happens, I'm just gonna go sit down at a table.
Okay. I'm sorry. What race is everybody? Can you type it in the chat?
Oh, 3 halflings?
Wait, you're four.
Wow.
3 halflings. Okay, cool. So they're all
wave,
talking. Everyone's talking to each other. There's a lot of noise going around. It's hard to understand what anybody's saying, and they're gesturing toward each other. And then, as soon as you guys enter, everything quiets down, and they all sort of stare at you. And hold on one second. Who's this? This is Keith, right?
Yeah, paladin.
What path did you take? You're just walking through right here.
Yeah. Try not to run
Okay,
directly into
As you walk in, these people take notice of you, and they step right to the side, and they're like, "You go right on ahead." You kind of get the feeling that they are intimidated by your presence, and they just let you pass, and they try to keep their distance from you.
I'm gonna follow him, and then when I get to the front of the bar, I'm gonna say, "What the hell is going on in here?"
And you are addressing
Bar.
Grinna Brightbell.
I was just sort of shouting it at the bar more.
Oh, yeah. These two, they're standing up on on these stools to try to calm everybody down, and you see a female halfling who has kind of a she's got like a spunky look on her face, and she has a she's holding a frying pan in a very threatening position, and she seems to be shouting back at the people who are arguing with her. And then you see this guy here. He has a cloth over his shoulder, and he seems to be kind of giving more of a timid demeanor, where he's kind of holding his hands up and says, "Now, come on, now let's not be too." And he's just trying to use nice, calming words, and no, it's falling on deaf ears. He doesn't really have control of the situation at all.
I'd like to step behind the female halfling
Okay.
and sort of just grab the frying pan, but not take it out of her hands, but just like
Nice.
stop it and be like, "Now, little one, there's no need for that."
And she turns to you and says, and who might you be?"
My name is Grant, and I'm just passing through. Who are you?
I'm Grinna Brightbell. Me and my husband own this establishment. What brings you to to these parts? We don't get we don't get very many visitors around this time of year.
Oh, just some adventuring business. We heard the commotion and wanted to check it out. What seems to be the issue? Are you all right here?
One second. Perhaps we could discuss this over some nice food and drink. Let me. She summons a barmaid and she says, "Hey, take these fellows' orders," and directs them over to the table where your companions are sitting, and it seems like everybody else is sort of kind of listening in on what you guys are saying. They're just kind of staring at you guys, and it's kind of weird.
Just a bit of a technical question.
Sure.
If I use Awakened Mind, should I make it public that it knows for you to know, or should it be hidden as a player thing?
What is Awaken Mind?
It lets me telepathically talk to anyone.
Oh,
It's in 30 feet.
okay.
Just want to know, should I make this public for the DM and whatnot, or should I just keep that as a player secret kind of stuff?
I would say go ahead and just let everybody, or just let me know, and I'll. I mean, I don't see a problem with letting everyone know. I mean, is it something that you think would be appropriate to not tell everyone, or I mean, obviously,
It's more for roleplay factor,
okay,
where
then
only
yeah,
the
just-
person that I'm talking with should know that I'm saying anything.
Okay, then yeah, just
But-
do it in a whisper then.
All right, I just wanted to know for
Right.
sure before I started abusing it.
Yeah. So she says, why yeah, we've been having a bit of a issue with some of our local friends who have gone missing in the past few weeks.
Well, that's quite terrible. Do you have any information or leads on what's going on? Are they just disappearing into thin air, or?
Well, they went into the Quivering Forest to look for our friend Halvin Grangle, who in his foolishness decided to venture into the forest about 10 days ago, and so a couple of our friends grew concerned with the implications that would provoke from the Fae of the forest, as we know all too well that we are forbidden from entering the forest, and we abide by this ruling very strictly. And a couple of the residents sort of they mutter to themselves, and then one guy shouts out, sorry, one second.
I want my character just to abruptly stand up and say, "Are you guys seriously afraid of Fae? They're
And
extreme."
and then they're like, and then one of the guys shouts out, "We don't go into the Quivering Forest, and the Quivering Forest don't come and steal our children in the night."
Clearly, they are.
And then another guy speaks up, who's kind of sitting at like a table over here. You kind of hear on the other side of the room. He shouts out, "'Twas probably them damn fairies that killed my cows. Damn their eyes and damn their wings." And then everybody sort of is cheered on, and kind of they're all bringing up their own, like, "Oh yeah, I heard they kidnapped my so and so's daughter who disappeared like last year." But then the guy over here, he echoes back, "No, they killed a few of my prized cows. Any of you fools that don't believe me, come on back to my farm and look for yourselves."
My character is now having flashbacks of horrible farm scenes.
And Grinna continues on. She says, about a month ago, Grangle just stopped coming to town, and some of us grew worried. And then, as a few of our friends inspected his home, they found he hadn't been robbed. His possessions were still there, but they found a crude map of the area in the home. And what alarmed everyone was there were some markings on the map that around the area, but if there was a path charted through the map through the Quivering Forest, and we're almost certain that he must have ventured into the forest, and So a couple
What
of us,
part of
a
don't
couple of us
go-
decided to go and look for him and get him out of there before he causes any trouble that can't be undone.
What part of don't go into the forest don't you people understand?
I assure you,
Hopefully
we
you don't.
understand. We understand completely the seriousness of his transgression. That's why we went in to try and retrieve him from the forest before he could anger uh, the beings that enforce this pact.
Hmm.
Well,
I see.
sending more people in was not a good solution.
I think they realize that now. You don't need to
Yeah, they-
mock them.
But you don't have to tell us that.
Clearly, we do because you guys couldn't prevent breaking a contract.
Those who
Greed
broke the contract
infects everyone.
will have to be punished.
Do you
concur.
all have the map? Maybe we could help out and try to see what's going on.
How much did I pay?
Isn't it like 2 copper?
You could find you could go check out you could go check out what the hell was his name? Hangel, right? Halvin.
Halvin Gringle.
Yeah, Halvin. Yeah, you could go check out Halvin's hut on the edge of town, and see if you can make any sense of where he might have gone. We asked for the help of a nearby ranger that lives in the area who knows the area very well, including in the Quivering Forest. We sought him out as a guide, Cerulus Greenleaf. But he adamantly refused to help us in our predicament in retrieving Halvin from the forest.
Sounds like he knows the rules.
Yes, and we're in a really bad spot because we don't know where our compatriots went to, and we need to solve this issue before it becomes a bigger problem than it already is. And would you help us out with this?
I think we may be able to do that. What do you all say?
And with that, Hupe
Speak
grabs
of
a
compensation first.
Hupe grabs a hat and he goes around and says, "Come on, we need to save our friends. Think of they say like Chuck and John, think of them. You know, let's offer these travelers whatever you can, as they might be our only hope of seeing them ever again."
Well, I
is
said
the rule?
that I'm happy to deal with this situation, but I don't know as you'll see it as us helping your friends per se.
So he goes around the room and he gets a hat full of gold pieces and says, he starts counting it up and I have 50 gold pieces here. If you will find out what's become of our friends and possibly return them if you find them.
I'd like to make a persuasion roll, saying that the Zanitarium do not work for such a low price.
Okay.
I thought the Zents were supposed to be secretive.
I'm going to make it known just to see if it will actually add to my persuasion
Make what known?
that I'm a brother of the Zanitarium.
Oh, okay. That's right. Amass wealth and power, right?
Yes. And if anyone knows of it, they should know that generally would mean that, yeah, I'm pretty serious about earning money.
All right. Go ahead and make the charisma persuasion.
Here we go.
All right. So you kind of you approach him and he kind of he kind of looks away. He doesn't really want to look you in the eye. You get the feeling that he's not a very he's not very good at negotiating, and he's like, well, what seems like a better deal to you? He says he kind of laments for a second. And he says, okay, all right, I'll go into my personal stash and I will throw in another 50.
This is agreeable.
Okay. And he goes behind the counter and he lifts up a lectern and pulls out a bag of coins and brings it over.
Where could I find this ranger?
He lives in the woods on a little ways outside of town. It's not in the quivering forest, but a nearby wooded area. He has a small cabin, about a mile outside of town.
Well, and if they're done talking to me, I'm gonna go seek out this ranger because I think he's probably has some connection to the Enclave.
Sounds like a sound plan.
Okay. As you wrap up your conversation and you go to leave, suddenly the nervous buzz of the Leaky Bucket's common room is shattered by a scream of terror. A heartbeat later, a young human woman bursts in through the front door. They know what we did, she cries, throwing herself at Grinna's feet and clawing madly at the halfling's clothes with one hand and pointing out the door with the other. And just as she does that, the entire common room is emptied out within seconds as everybody tries to push past everyone else to try and get out the door first and see what the commotion is about.
Oh god, what
Do
do
people
these
leave their
imbeciles do
beers?
now?
I call calmly following out.
I'm gonna just start drinking the beers that people
And
left.
someone who's paying attention sees that Jeremy is suddenly holding a pole arm where he formerly was unarmed.
All right. So you come out. You come out the doors and look into the town and look into the square. You see everybody gathered around this, and what that is the town's central signpost. And hanging from the signpost is a human male with blood streaming from his eyes and mouth. And everybody is kind of looking at him with in shock as this guy is just hanging from the sign, bleeding down his face.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious of whether or not he's alive as well.
Why is there a guy there?
As you get closer to inspect, you see that his eyes have actually been gouged out, and there are small, polished black stones actually inserted into his eye sockets, and they are carved to resemble large lidless eyes.
Well, then,
I should-
it would
I
appear
should-
that this
And,
person's here because someone wants to leave a message, you moron.
The villagers are kind of talking amongst themselves, and they're like, "Oh, do you know what this means? Oh my gosh!" And they say, "Oh, it's the Fae."
I'm sorry, Sin. I'm a little bit tired today. I haven't been paying attention at all in the bar.
You're just drunk. Like you always
That's
are.
too. I mean,
what is the
like,
medicine
where's
for?
the beers? Like,
I want to check if he's still alive.
Oh, okay. You investigate his body, and you determine he is alive, but in very critical condition. As in,
Shot.
like, he's barely holding on.
He needs healing now.
Is living blind really living at all?
I'd like to use 1 HP, lay a hands on him, stabilize him,
Okay.
whatever.
A Okay, so you heal him, he becomes conscious.
Is there any sort of? Do we see
Oh no, you
like
fool!
a
What have you
church or
done?
anything?
Now
Okay,
he's going to scream.
so you lay on hands him. He is. I'm sorry, I didn't really describe this very well. He actually. Hold on one second. So he actually is impaled to the post through his chest with a very long pin. I must have left that out of my description.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
I
But
doubt we would have tried to heal
that
him.
if that may affect what you're going to do, you
Yeah.
can change.
He's not gonna make it. Okay.
Well, I mean, you can still do what you were going to do. I just wanted to say, yeah, he is hanging there because he's impaled through the chest.
How sadistic
But he is
does
still
someone have
alive.
to be to heal someone in this state?
You can heal somebody. I mean, magical healing is magic. It's not, you know.
I know. But, I mean, he's going to become conscious without sight and restrained to a board with something sticking out of him.
Yeah, but you can
That
see
sounds
it.
horrific.
We should probably take him off the signpost.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna
then
take him
heal him.
off and then heal him.
Okay. So how are you taking him off? You're just gonna. Are you gonna pull the thing out and then take him down?
Yeah, I'll pull the thing.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really poor strategy. I'm just going to watch.
Cool.
All right. Whoever's pulling the pin out, give me a wisdom check
I
as
will.
you try to pull it out. With medicine, if you're proficient.
Not at all.
There's always a chance.
Not a very high one.
All right. You pull the pin out, and blood sprays out of his chest, and he kind of convulses a little bit, and he falls to the ground, and you get the feeling that he is actually dead now.
I shrug.
I go look for the woman that screamed.
I'll assist.
But
my
when you pull the
buddy
pin
with
out
this.
though, and you look at it, this pin looks very well crafted, and it is decorated with a piece of highly polished jet on the end of it. Looks like it would be valuable.
I'll take it
Yeah.
because it's already in
All
my
right.
hand.
As you hold it out, the villagers sort of they identify the stones in his eyes as the sigil of Jenny Greenteeth, a hag that purportedly lives nearby in the forest. As they are muttering to themselves, "That's Jenny Greenteeth. She lives in the quivering forest. She is enacting her wrath upon us." And they're sort of panicking now.
Does this pin look like a weapon?
No, it's a really long bone pin with black polished jet on the end of it, and it is very well crafted and has a few intricate carvings around the shaft.
I'm gonna hand it to somebody who looks magic-y.
And
So I don't know
when
what
you
to
remove the
Yay.
pin, some papers fall out of his clothing too, and they fall on the ground. A few sheets of paper.
Let's try to read them.
All right. The letters all say the same thing. It says, "Cable's Hill honors the long-standing truce between the people of Flan and the people of the Quivering Forest. We seek only to retrieve a lost friend who does not fully understand what his trespasses signify." And then the townspeople see those and they panic because they say, "Oh, what does that mean for the rest of them?"
I think that's pretty clear.
Clearly, we have to go
That's why
save
you
people.
don't go in the forest.
Agreed. However, we're paid to save people at this point.
Whoever's inspecting the pin, it doesn't seem like it's any sort of magical item you've heard of. It just looks like a very well-crafted pin.
Very well. I'm going to relay that knowledge to whoever was asking me to inspect it.
No, I gave it to you. I don't want it.
Oh. In that case, while this is all this shenanigans going on, I'm going to cast Identify as a ritual.
I'm
Just to be
really
sure.
stupid, so I don't even realize what it is.
I take the pin.
I
Alright,
still
so
have
somebody.
control of the pin.
So where are you gonna cast Identify? You're in the middle of a crowded street, and everybody's sort of freaking out right now.
I'll just say this is to help us find their ally, to find people that they've paid us to find, and then start casting it.
All right. So you sort of go off to the side while the exchanges are taking place, and you begin casting your ritual.
Which takes
10 minutes.
11 minutes, I believe.
11 minutes because it's casted as a ritual.
So while he's casting the ritual, I suppose you have a few choices on how you're going to proceed.
I want to go track down the ranger.
I'm interested in finding the
We're gonna
map.
find what again?
Alright, the townsfolk will be happy to direct you to the ranger who lives in the forest nearby.
I'll say, you guys can come or not. Otherwise, I'll meet you back here at some point. Then I'll set out.
I think we should not
him
split up.
at the inn at the end of the day.
Okay? So who is going to see the ranger and who is going to do something else?
After I finish casting, what were the options again?
Some people said they wanted to go find the map at
The map, right.
Halvin's house, and
What does
some
the
people
map do again?
well, it described his path through the forest, and the villagers said that they found evidence at his house that he was going through that he was planning a trip through the forest.
Well, considering
And
we're paid to
Sorellis,
find
the ranger, was they initially contacted him to guide them through the quivering forest, and he refused to help them.
Alright, well, I think finding the map would be better, because then we could find the area that they've been taken originally from.
So
Which could give us an idea for tracking. We wouldn't really need the ranger then. Plus, it sounds like the ranger might actually be hostile to us if we signify that we want to go into the forest. So I'm gonna vote towards going for the map.
Alright, so decide where each of you are going, if you're all going to the same place, or if some of you are splitting up.
No, I'm going to the ranger because I want to see if he's Emerald Enclave.
Alright, when you finish identifying the pin, by the way, you identify that there is first you identify divination magic radiating from the pin, and you also, also with your identify spell, you learned that the pin is a scrying focus.
I will keep hold of this pin.
Alright.
You tell us what you found out.
I'm gonna keep that information hidden. I'll just say it's not relevant to anything.
Can I roll insight on that?
I'll roll deception if I have to.
Let's do it. I love
I
it.
think I think it's because he knows how valuable scrying focuses are.
Probably. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. If you're a spellcaster, you would definitely know how valuable a scrying focus is.
Would he know this is dangerous to us?
If you were a wizard, I would say I should say, because it's on your spell list.
It's
You're
not.
like
dangerous. I will just state that it's not dangerous, but it's also not relevant for this.
Well, I take your
Mission
word for
of
that.
Looks pretty expensive.
Well,
Regardless, gold pieces are still distributed evenly at the end anyway, so you don't have to worry like out of game about.
damn it! I should have made that deal in secret for the extra 50.
Told you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Were we splitting up or is everybody sticking together?
I think we're
No,
splitting
we're
up.
splitting up.
Okay. Who's going where first?
Syndicate for map.
Okay.
Go for the map of the main.
I am going to the ranger.
All right. We'll do just arrange yourselves like on the left or the right side of the screen. I'll move this.
So
guy
Rangers
out
on
of
the
way.
right, and then
Yeah, we'll do ranger on the right and map on the left, and then I'll have to figure out
Ranger
who I'm going to
on-
resolve first.
I love that this party split up so well.
All right. So the 4 people on the left, you guys are going to the map.
Yes.
Looking for the map? Okay, I will... Sorry, but there's only one way to do this. We'll have to do each thing one at a time.
Kill each of us separately.
Okay, so you make your way to Halvin's house. And forget about all the green.
He said that I got it.
Because he's pretty close to the city. And I'm getting an echo.
Oh, I knock on the door.
I'm gonna fly my owl familiar around the perimeter.
Okay. You knock on the door and you don't get an answer.
I knock louder.
Well, I suppose I should put the other 2 people on here anyway, because you can't see anything otherwise, can you?
No.
Did my owl see anything as it circled that would alert me about?
No, you don't see anything.
Alright.
Everybody should be able to see now, correct?
Yeah. Ooh, I like the line of sight.
Okay. So your owl doesn't see anything of interest flying around the house, and you knock on the door and there's no answer.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and check to see if the door is unlocked, as well as send my owl onto the roof to keep an eye out.
The door is unlocked.
I open it. After
Okay.
you, good sir.
Yeah, you have to actually move through the doorway before you can move in. The line of sight blocks you from moving through the wall.
All right. So we're now.
So the door's unlocked?
Yep, door's unlocked. You enter the room, or you enter the house.
I yell
design-
if anyone's here.
Yep, you don't hear anything
Doubt
or see
anyone's
anybody
here, considering the inhabitants are taken.
Yeah, the majority of the house is dim and dusty. Doesn't look like there has been much activity in this house for a very long time. The only thing you really see is a small path going like from the bedroom to his kitchen, and like the corners are all really dusty, and he's not really doing much work at his desk or anything. The bookshelf looks like it hasn't been touched for months.
Oh, that's terrible.
So yeah, this place has been abandoned for a while, it seems.
That was my perception check. Oh, should we be rolling investigation to find the map?
Investigation or perception. Where are you looking?
Oh, I'm looking in the bedroom. At least that's what
okay.
I think this is. For anything of interest, not just the map.
Okay. You don't see anything of interest in the bedroom.
I'll use investigate as
I will
well.
say the only places that look used are
Oh,
the main kitchen and dining area and the bedroom are the only places that have seen any activity in this house for a long time.
I'm gonna look through the bookshelf with an investigation check.
Okay. You find some, pretty mundane books. Doesn't look like there's anything really valuable or anything.
what's this exactly?
This is just like a random map I found.
No. In this corner.
This is just a random map I found on Google. I was just using it as a placeholder for this section
Alright.
of the for this section of the adventure.
I'm going to take a logical guess.
Basically, the house is. You see that he only really spent time in the bedroom and in the main kitchen and dining area.
Alright. I'm just going to make a strategic guess here and assume that maybe the desk will have the map and run an investigation on it.
You don't see anything of interest in the desk without even having to roll. There's not really anything there. And you even look through the desk and you don't see anything like secret compartments or anything either.
I yell at the desk and say that's a failure of the desk and kick it and walk away.
Is there anything on the kitchen table?
Nothing on the kitchen table.
Dining room table? Or, yeah, I'm sorry, this house has got me all confused.
It's sort of like an eat-in kitchen. Like you've got the counters and then you've got like the wood stove, and then the counters and cupboards with his various cooking and flatware.
So the most
and
used
whatnot.
area is the kitchen and dining table?
No, the kitchen / dining area. It's like an eat-in kitchen where the where you've got the table in the kitchen off to the side of the cupboards and the range and stuff.
I'm kind of curious. Is there anything underneath this rug? If I removed it.
Go ahead.
Well, it
Remove
wouldn't
the
really
rug.
be...
Go ahead and roll investigation. You find nothing special under the rug or about the rug.
Where
It's
is
very
left
dusty.
to look? Can we just turn this place upside down since the dude is no longer inhabiting it?
If
That's
that's
what
what
I
you would
would
like to do.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't
Yeah.
mind if we save him.
Let's do
Alright, so
that.
you start from one end of the house and you start turning stuff. You turn over the table. You're like, alright, is there anything underneath here? You look through the fireplace. You're like, okay, there's nothing there. You look in the wood stove. You're like, okay, there ain't anything there. Give me one last perception check just for this search that you're doing.
Can I bring my owl in and have it assist me on the roll for
Sure.
perception sight?
I'm gonna say Michael is going to see. So you're all you're turning the place upside down, moving boxes of stuff out of the way, and Michael starts. For whatever reason, he opens up the cupboards and starts pulling the pots and pans out, and then he notices a false panel behind the cupboard.
Oh guys, I think I found something.
Oh.
Is it locked or can I remove
No,
it?
you notice that you put your hand on it and it just sort of it kind of pushes in a little bit, so you get the feeling you could just pull pull the panel out, and there's like a space behind the cupboard with that looks like probably like a foot or two of like something back there.
Interesting. Let's take a closer look.
Right, so you open up the false panel and you see a small, ornate silver box with the likeness of a dragon head etched onto the lid.
I don't like where this is going, but let's inspect the box.
It looks like it's a pretty good sized box, and it is made of silver, so I mean the box itself is valuable.
I kind of want to inspect it with Arcana before we open it.
Okay.
Looks like we got us a dragon cultist.
Did you just say that, or is that out of context?
Well, I just said that upon seeing the dragon.
What makes you say that?
That I had some issues with dragon cultists in the past.
Is there a good chance this is trapped then?
I would be careful, yes.
As I hear this, I slowly back away.
I say we open it from a distance.
Hey, can that owl open stuff?
No. Probably could, but I don't think I would like to do that.
You can just find another one. They're just familiars, right?
Yeah, they're only 10 gold apiece.
Oh, you're making 100. Come on now.
I'm not making 100, that's divided.
We're making 100. You could use your share on a new owl.
Or I don't waste that.
Fine.
Alright,
So,
that was
did
my
you have a
Arcana
box?
roll. Did it bring any fruit?
It doesn't seem to you don't seem to see anything you don't see any sort of arcane sigils or anything to suspect like a ward of like a magical ward or anything.
Alright, well, I'm gonna get as far away from the chest as I possibly can get. And cast Mage Hand to open it. Or at least attempt to.
Alright. So your illusory hand sort of gravitates over to the box, and then it grabs onto the dragon head, and it picks it up and opens the box. And you have a open silver box.
I'll go and investigate the box now, considering nothing blew up in my face.
Alright. You see a book with a dragon head embossed onto its cover, and you see various cryptic notes, sketches, and maps sort of scrawled onto the front of the book. Well, okay, not in the front, not on the front of the book. You also see a pouch.
I want to pick up the pouch as well as the book and toss the book at Jeremy.
Right. You pick up the pouch and you look inside and you see a pretty good size. Well, not pretty good. It's rather small. Probably smaller, like I would say, like pebble-sized garnet inside the bag, and not really anything else.
I immediately start to read the book. I'm no longer
Okay.
paying attention
Yeah,
to
you
anything
you
else.
start going through the book, and you see sketches, maps of the area around Flan, Cable's Hill, and maps around the Quivering Forest. And you could study the book, since you don't seem pressed for time or anything. Upon reading the book, you see a few diary entries, as this is a diary amongst other things, and you get he seems like he was sent to Flan under orders from some entity to treat with the Fae of the Quivering Forest, and specifically convince them to break their pact with the people of Flan and sit idle while something called the Cult of the Dragon comes through the forest and plunders the town. And he's been sent. You also see him mentioning that he's been sending gifts and letters to the elves and the Fae, but he has not been receiving any reply to his messages. So either the Fae haven't received his messages, or they were ignoring him because they have no interest in talking with somebody outside of the forest.
Just to be clear, there's plans to assault the town.
And you also see him make an entry that he just couldn't wait any longer, and his patience was running thin, and he made a plan and said, "I'm going into the forest, and I'm going to go to Greenhall, which is a settlement probably a few days travel inside the forest." And he says and then he also describes how he seeks to engage in an audience with Jenny Greenteeth, a hag that is known to be in the area, and a fae that lives in the forest. And he also mentions several times his familiar, who seems, from what you can tell, to be an imp familiar who knew of the pact, and despite being his familiar, actually refused. Well, not really refused, but being a fiend, he was afraid to venture into the forest, and he sort of abandoned his familiar and said, "Yeah, I'm going into the forest. You can just wait here till I get back."
I want to inquire, does it have any notes in there about how his familiar abandoned him?
No, his familiar didn't abandon him. He abandoned his familiar and just went into the forest and said, "Just wait."
Does it say where he abandoned his familiar?
He just said, I told Pip Yap to if he, a fiend, is too scared of the Fae, then he can wait here until I return."
Here, you say. Well then, I just want to yell out, "Pip-Gat, come!" See what happens.
You wait a few seconds, you don't hear anything, and your call seems to go unanswered.
Should still be here yet.
Is there any flour in this?
I would like to pop a divine sense. I'm assuming this house is smaller than 60 feet.
Yep. And I don't know if it goes through walls, but I'm going to say it does. You detect... What does that detect?
Celestial, fiend, undead, within 60 feet.
Okay.
I know the location and type.
You detect no fiend, undead, or anything. It does. You don't detect anything, unless one of you guys has something that registers to it.
My owl will. It's a fiend.
Okay.
I'll high-five the owl.
You know what?
Attempt to high-five the owl.
I'll give it the command to high-five you back.
Yes.
So that's what smiting a fiend looks like nowadays.
Mighty fiend owl.
So I think we're safe from Pip Yap. He must be hiding elsewhere, I tell the party.
That's a shame. He would have been a useful tool. For my personal gain.
Okay.
So we have a map now, right? I'm asking the party.
A map, some plans, it seems. I think we've got everything we came looking for.
Agree. Should we go rendezvous with the rest of the party and try to find the ranger?
Yeah,
Um,
let's start going towards the ranger.
I
Once
agree.
Or our party
uh,
is.
I'm writing down a copy of his plans from the book, and while we're moving to the house from the ranger, if he passed in again, I give them my copy and tell them to send it to my superiors and plan, just in case that we don't make it out of the forest, so they are warned.
Okay. I
I
forgot to read the box text when you approached the house too. I'm just going to read that now. The approach to the farmhouse leads you into a small hollow within a copse of trees right on the edge of the forest proper. The house has definitely seen better days, as evidenced by the loose boards and shingles, the peeling whitewash, and the handful of stones that have fallen from the leaning chimney. A small barn around the back leans even more, and vines have grown up to cover most of it. Alright, so we were moving on to where?
We're going to try to rendezvous with the other party at the ranger.
Okay.
Probably should swap to that map and maybe put a time delay for us to arrive. I don't know.
Sure. I will, Oh, I was just going to use the same map, so...
Oh, awesome.
I had a cabin, and I was like, well, there's a few cabins in this adventure, so I'm just going to use the same one.
Sweet. Cool.
Alright, so whoever was on their way to the cabin first, go ahead and position yourselves wherever you're going to be, and then whoever's not, just kind of put yourselves off to the side.
As I'm approaching, like, are there any like signs I could look for to see if he's like might be of the Emerald Enclave?
Let me not forget to read the box text this time. 1 second. Alright, so you venture out into the woods, and what you heard from the locals is nobody goes out here since it's in the woods, and even though this isn't really considered part of the protected area of the Quivering Forest, still nobody goes out here because they're just like, you know, we don't want people to get the wrong idea. Just any woods, just stay away. So you get the feeling that nobody really comes out here, but there is a path going through that that they're directing. They direct you. Yeah, this path goes on for about a mile, and we hear that he lives out here at the end of this path. And you make your way down the path, which is a narrow, twisting path, and it opens at last into a small glade where a picturesque, babbling stream tumbles past a cabin built of natural timbers and a sod roof. The only sign of occupancy is the small garden along one side of the cabin, with a small number of herbs and vegetables growing in neat rows watched over by a scarecrow. The idyllic garden is being tended to by a half-elf. And we'll say that you see like his garden along the front here, and he's tending to his garden. Noticing your approach, he stops working and props his elbow on one end of the shovel and says, "I take it they haven't returned yet," he says with a note of concern across his face.
Apparently not. I've been sent by the Emerald Enclave. I was hoping you might have a little bit more information for me.
He says, this is concerning. I really was hoping that things wouldn't escalate to this level. I thought they would be, I thought they would just let things work themselves out and just, and he sort of laments over it, and he says, "I'll tell you what I know. 10 days ago, The residents of Cable's Hill approached me and asked for my help in leading a small party into the forest to treat with the elves of Greenhall to assist them in locating their companion, and to which I, adamantly refused for good reason. If you may or may not know, there is a
Yes,
a
yes.
very ancient pact that was made with the Fae many years ago that mortals would keep out of the Quivering Forest to protect their sacred glades, and in exchange, the Fae would destroy the enemies of Flan that attempted to cross through the woods.
Yes, we've heard of this pact.
I warned them that their voyage would only seek to that their voyage into the forest would only exacerbate the situation further, but they didn't. It appears they didn't listen.
It seems to have
I
done
warned them that the Fae would not care about the fate of their companion, and they would simply possibly even kill them too if they were found by anyone in the area.
Yes, it seems they have.
He says, but despite my my objection to their quest, I reluctantly outfitted them with supplies and weapons to at least protect themselves from the dangers of the wilderness that they might come across. As this is a very this isn't a normal forest that we are talking about here. There are creatures that many mortals could not even begin to imagine lurking in these woods.
Yes, I'm sure it's quite dangerous, but I have been sent by the Enclave to deal with these pact breakers however I can. Justice must be done, and I must make sure that this pact is not destroyed.
Okay. He says, okay, please come in. Let's make yourselves at home while I make myself ready. And he opens the door and heads in. And he says, I will be ready within the hour. So he'll gather his supplies and have minor small talk with you, and probably over the course of that hour, we'll say that the rest of the party will arrive.
Arriving?
Yep. He says I would be, and while he's gathering, he says, I really, I am genuinely concerned, but I can't put myself in this situation. I will plot you a map, and I will give you I will give you directions, and I will give you supplies, but I just don't think I can put myself in this situation. This is a very unwise endeavor. He seems reluctant to go with you. And,
Do you not have faith in us?
I'm knocking at the door.
Okay, you knock on the door, and he answers and says, yes, may I help you?
I believe our allies are already in there with you.
And he looks
Unless
at you
you
guys and is
killed
like,
them.
huh? Do you know these people?
Yes, they're with us.
I'm just going to relay that the people who... Well, a speculation that the dragon cult is trying to upset the Fae. From what we found in the other
Do you know anything
So you
about
you
this?
you inform him of the cult activity in the area.
Yes.
That he says, "Well, that is troubling news indeed." And then he kind of stops for a second and he says, "What could he possibly be thinking?" And who studied the diary again?
That was Jeremy and myself.
All right. You recall that he had been attempting to contact the Fae of the Fae and the elves of the forest.
All right. Again, I'll just relay that to both the ranger and
He
the
says,
party.
what could the cult of the dragon want with the forest? I just, it's like he's kind of stumped for a second. He's like, what?
I'm gonna put my one of my hands to my forehead and shake it, as if it's obvious. To instigate a war, most probable.
He says that is very alarming. I can't imagine he would be successful, but what if he was? And then he says, "Okay, I will, against my better judgment, I will accompany you through the forest." And he goes and gathers some supplies, and
Then there's no time to waste.
all right. So everybody showed up. Are you guys just hanging out in his front yard?
Yes.
All right. All of a sudden, as he is getting ready to go, you hear a loud bang over in this direction. The door to Sorellis' cabin shudders as something slams into it. It happens again a heartbeat later, and the door bursts from its hinges, falling flat to the floor. You see writhing vines creeping into the cabin, coalescing into vaguely humanoid shapes. And you also, you people that are waiting out front here, you see the scarecrow sort of come down off its post and start animating.
Pull out my sword and shield and like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna draw my dagger and say, "We have company," as loud as I can to allow most of the party, if not all.
And you also hear
I
the
would-
windows.
about
You
to
also hear the
insult it.
windows shatter, as in the back as well.
I'll draw my sword, heft my shield, and roar.
Are we surprised?
I'm finding that out. 1 second.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Oh, it's combat.
I'm assuming we shall be rolling initiative, right?
Yeah, I was just adding everybody to the initiative roll.
Should I just assume that my owl will be taking place on my turn, or roll individually?
Yeah, I know the rules say that it has its own initiative, but it's easier to just
I
control it
understand.
on your turn. So I'm gonna go against what the book says and just say it's easier to just do it on your turn.
Right. If I was conjuring elementals, I would be asking for their own initiative, though, since that's a good thing.
if it was like another creature, it would probably make more sense because it's actually like,
There is
attacking
just
and
an
stuff.
extension of myself, though.
Right.
Sorry, I'm about to get.
Oh. AO seems to have crashed. Hey, decoy. Vane.
No.
Yeah, he just logged off Steam. That's not usual.
All in front of the door?
How long should we wait for decoy?
I'm so slow.
AKA Vane.
How long has he been out? Does anybody know?
As far as I know, he just went offline, and I don't know what would have caused it.
Did he roll initiative? No.
Worst comes to worst, I can play his character. Although that would be... I really don't want to do that, because then I have to remember so much.
No. I'll just keep him out of the initiative until he comes back.
We'll just assume he's still drunk. Okay.
Yeah.
Too drunk to fight. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I
No
really
problem.
don't know what happened.
Alright, so I'm gonna say you're not surprised because the Windows shattering was basically their surprise, and then you are instantly alarmed, and then everybody rolls initiative. So Syndicate.
Alright. Awesome.
This scarecrow animates and looks at you menacingly.
Alright, so, according to what I can see, having an extra line of sight can be a burden when you... Because, it's hard to determine what I can cast spells at or not.
Oh, can you not see? I'm sorry.
No, the problem is I can see too much. I also see what my familiar sees when I'm
Yeah.
controlling it, so I
Yeah,
don't really
don't
know
worry
what my
about it,
own
I'm
line
just-
of sight is.
Nah, don't worry about it.
It's difficult. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at my spell list to see what would be the most optimal choice. So, just a scarecrow. Guess I'll start with... Oh, does a scarecrow actually wield weapons, or is it all natural?
The scarecrow is just attacking with, like, straw that's sort of shaped itself into claws
Okay.
and hardened itself.
Well, then I'll definitely go with this. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Eldritch Blast, and you miss, unfortunately.
Yep.
Milo, I think? Whoever this
I'll-
is.
Since I only have moves left and can't really do much,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reposition myself a bit.
Okay.
And get my owl crash through this window.
Sure.
Sweet.
Hello, owl.
And you are up. I believe that's Milo, correct?
Milo. Milo. Milo.
My owl takes the dodge action.
So you're trying to move silently through the house, or? I can't hear you on Skype, no.
Are you muted?
I only have 5 people in here.
Yeah, as I said, Vane is offline.
Oh, okay, so he's there, he's just muted. Okay, so, I don't think hiding is an action, so, because I think that's just part of your move. I don't
Hiding
know.
is an action.
Is it an action? Okay.
Well, unless he has cunning action. 'cause
Unless
he's-
he has cunning action.
Oh, if he's a rogue, then yeah.
I don't know what level he is, though.
I think you get cutting action immediately, don't you? I'll
It's
check.
at level 2.
Oh,
Okay, so that's in action then.
Oh,
Alright,
I really
so
thought that
are you
my owl was
moving
going
at
to
all?
have backup. This is unfortunate.
I think you can hear us.
Alright,
Or
Jeremy Sternwood.
this is going to suck.
I move a little bit and then send the scarecrow back to hell. Do I hit her?
A 14 will hit.
Nice. And that's my turn.
Alright, he takes some damage. Alright, Scarecrow. He moves forward to the first thing he can reach, and he slashes at you with his claws.
That'll do it.
Will that one also?
No.
Okay, you take 7 slashing damage. Are you able to be frightened, or do you have that special ability that... Because I think you're a paladin, right?
I am a paladin.
Bane's coming back.
If you are if you have that ability, then disregard. Otherwise, make a Wisdom saving throw.
While you're doing that, Robert, could you re-invite Vane, aka Ed Chow?
Oh, yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the saving throw while I look it up.
Let's hope he goes ahead and rolls low so that he can fit into the order better.
Should we
don't know why
place
he's not
Vane
showing up in
right
my
after
contacts.
Scarecrow? Or...
Okay. Vane 16. Yeah, I'll move him. Okay. Vane, go ahead and take your turn. Oh, he's not in the.
I'm here. Vane's here.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Somebody else got him in? Okay, cool. Great. So Vane, go ahead and take your turn, and then I put you in just before Milo.
So it's Vane's turn right now, right?
Yes, and
Vane, save my owl.
also, so did you? I'm sorry to interrupt here. So did you not have the immunity to fear?
I don't believe I do.
Okay, then you're frightened on your next turn from the Scarecrow. So you have to run away from the Scarecrow. And then Vane, go ahead.
I cast. Is that a scarecrow?
Yeah, it is a Scarecrow animated while you guys were talking amongst yourselves and waiting for Ceralis to prepare to take you through the forest. And also, you heard the windows inside the cabin shatter.
I like to cast firebolt on the scarecrow.
Alright. The firebolt goes harmlessly into the wall and misses.
Okay, I'll just back up 2 squares then.
Alright, the weird vine thing's turns.
Oh, I hope they're moving to my range.
So it comes around the corner here. Were you doing something? Milo, were you readied for something? Or no, you were hiding, never mind. So it comes around the corner and sees the two of you, and it's gonna go for you.
Can anybody hear me now?
Yep.
I can hear you.
I can hear you now, Molly.
Bounces off my
12 to your AC. I assume that's miss.
Bounces off my shield. Yeah, miss.
Alright, and then this one moves here. Actually, he'll move there. And then he's gonna fire his... He's gonna fire needles out from his arm at Milo.
That's scary.
And this one is going to fire needles at...
Gareth.
I forgot your name. Gareth.
Nope.
And this one up. And then this one is going to fire needles over the table at you.
Ooh,
How about
tie.
that? Okay.
Ties mean that he wins the AC on the solo.
Yeah.
So take 8
Yeah.
piercing damage.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
And he rolled a 1 on that, too.
Yeah.
Alright, Gareth.
Okay. Hold on, I'm doing a minute because I'm bad at math. Alright. I'm okay. But now I'm like really, really angry. So I'm going to start raging. And then I'm going to attack this guy in front of me with my longsword. 15?
That's a hit.
Alrighty. So I get 2 extra damage from my rage. So 6 damage.
Okay. And anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Grant, I believe, right?
Yeah. So frightened means I have disadvantage on attack rolls towards the source, right?
Yes.
Yes. Let me double check.
You cannot move willingly closer, but you don't have to run away from it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And you
I'm
have
gonna
disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks within line of sight of it.
Yeah, disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Yep.
I'm still gonna try to hit it.
Okay. And unfortunately, you in your fear, you kind of quiver and you look like you would have landed a good hit, but you moved out of the way at the last second and missed.
Ooh, fancy +1 magic longsword.
It'll help someday.
And then I'll end my turn.
All right, Syndicate.
It's everyone's favorite spell time.
Oh, and what's his name? Dives into the corner and takes a dodge action.
Oh, what a useless ass.
What a brave ranger.
Yay.
All
Oh,
right,
that's good
time to
damage.
direct my darts. I'm going to send 1 at him, assuming it's the first, so 5.
Okay.
1 at him. I would also like to use a 5 on him, but I don't really get to choose, so And
Well,
I'll
just do whatever order you would have sent them in.
I would have sent one here, and then one at that one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3. So you get a 5 there, then a 3 will go here, and then the 5 will go here.
Very well. And won't move myself personally, but I will go ahead and move my owl here, and then take the help action. So if anyone's in 5 feet of my owl and wants to attack this one, they get a bonus.
Okay.
Only applies if they're melee.
I cast an fireball at the scarecrow.
Alright.
Darn it.
That one will hit. And you lob that fireball into the scarecrow, and immediately the straw starts to combust, and it just it sort of is like almost like a small explosion in how fast that thing just lights up, and a good portion of him burns away.
It's super effective.
Now just got a fire damage attack.
He's vulnerable, so if he's not dead, doesn't he take like 50% more damage?
He did.
Okay.
He took a lot of damage from that.
I got a max damage roll there.
Yeah, and you almost killed him. Am I revealing the bar to you?
Oh,
no.
I can't see them.
Oh, see, I was trying to reveal all the monster bars. So
I
you could-
assumed it was a boss mob.
Yeah. So I'll back it up. So you went from there to there.
Nice.
Fire OP.
That's after he's already been
Was
hit.
fireball set on fire because it's a flammable object, or is
Does it say it combusts
Only objects.
only object? Yeah, he's technically not really an object. He's an animated object, so I'm gonna say no. But it does extra damage because of because of what he's made of.
Okay.
Bane, it's your day to shine. Fire mastery works in forests.
All right, and then
I burnt a lot of scarecrows in my days.
the blights
Clearly.
take their turn. He's going to move. Oh wait, no, he's not going to do that.
Oh,
That's a bad idea. He's not going to do that.
Is it their turn? I thought we have to go through the rogue.
Oh shit! I was scrolled down to the bottom of the of the turn order.
That was a bit weird.
Mr. Milo. Yeah, I had scrolled down the turn order, so that was at the top.
It's okay.
All right, Milo, go ahead.
DMing for the win.
I will. How do I highlight something here? I will
Also,
attempt to.
I can't see your health bar. Just
I don't think he's using it. I shared all of your health bars with everybody.
Sorry. Here, I'll start using it. Sorry.
It's not required. I figure it's easier than
Quality
having
of life thing.
I figure it's better than having to ask everybody how you're doing, and having to give actual hit point numbers when you can just, just being able to look at your character and then look at the health bar, you'll see how damaged they are without having to metagame too badly.
Is it the red or the green?
I've been having everybody use whatever. I showed everybody all their bars. I think everybody's using green. That's what I'm using for the monsters anyway.
I'll put it in there. Nope, that didn't work.
You also have to show the maximum, otherwise the bar won't show up.
How do you do that?
If you click the little gear, it'll show the bars. You'll get bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Bar 1 is the green one. You put your current and then the maximum. If you don't put a maximum, the bar won't show up.
Got it.
Also, I can't see this Shambling Mound's health, nor this one's. Although, if you wanted to play it,
trying
that
to
we
be.
can't
I've been
see
trying to
them.
be good
Alright.
about that. Well,
There-
just so that you know how you should be able to see how damaged things are as
Kind of
they.
makes us metagame our spells or attacks, though. So
But I like to go by, you would see them physically take damage, so you would know which ones are not doing so good and which ones are, untouched.
fair enough.
Okay, so I'm going to shoot that guy with my bow, but it's going to be a sneak attack because he has an enemy within 5 feet. Correct.
So you're gonna shoot from here.
Correct.
All right. When you fire a ranged weapon with an enemy that's within 5 feet of you, you take disadvantage on the attack.
At this guy, though.
What do you? Yeah, but it's just
He's
it's,
within 10 feet.
right. But it's this enemy here is within 5 feet of
okay.
you, so you would take disadvantage from having an enemy next to you.
Does it work like that?
Yep.
I thought that you could attack an enemy at a distance, even if as long as it's not in the same direction.
You can. It's not that the problem is if there's an enemy within 5 feet of you, you take disadvantage on the attack, unless you have a special feat that negates that penalty.
So I guess I should attack the one that's in front of me instead then, huh?
If it's range attack, you will still have disadvantage.
Seems like the move.
Okay. So I will go ahead and go for that.
Fuck yeah.
The 11 is a miss, unfortunately.
Alrighty.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Alrighty. Jeremy Sternwood.
Well, then it's time to spread the ashes, I think.
You hit a blast of force echoes out from your hand, and the straw just explodes everywhere.
Nice. Okay, and then with the rest of my turn, I move into the house. And here I have to stop. That's my turn.
Okay, and then they take a turn. This one moves down here and tries to claw at the ranger. And he hits.
Rest in peace, Ranger buddy.
Ow, that hurts a lot. Then this one is going to slash with his claws at Milo. Ooh, that's bad.
Very
Rest in
bad.
peace, Milo.
Milo's dead for sure.
Is he level 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
rest in
like
peace.
twice my lift total almost.
So what does that bring you down to?
-6.
Do you have more than 6 hit points as your max?
Yes.
Then you are at 0 hit points and unconscious.
And dying, right?
Yes, on your turn we'll go over that. This guy here, since your owl is pecking at it menacingly, he take a swipe at it.
Owl, no!
Does that hit
it's
your
dead.
owl?
It's dead.
Alright, poof.
Rest in peace, Owl.
I don't think it dies, right? It just goes back to its home plane.
It doesn't have a form to begin with. That's just 10 gold that died.
Yeah, it's just like magical power.
Okay, is it considered like... You said it was a fiend though, right? So it goes back, it just goes back, it poofs out of existence.
Yeah.
Let's
Alright.
just say it poofs with a hellish fiend squeal. Or whatever.
Then this one comes up and tries to slash at you from... They're doing a 2-pronged attack. Doesn't give them any sort of advantage. They're just ganging up on you.
See if it works for him. Oh my god, you keep tying me. Yeah, that'll hit.
Wow.
Now, is this
My dice,
plus
my
3
dice
certain.
hate, my dice hate you today.
does this happen to be slashing damage?
This is piercing damage.
Good. I will take only 4 damage from that then.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
what
you're
you-
raging.
Rage
so
so
you're,
good.
So you're that kind of barbarian. All right, Gareth.
No, just keep the owl token. I'll probably end up resummoning it if I ever get a chance.
Alright, now I'm starting to feel pretty hurt.
Are you a level 3 barbarian?
2.
Oh, awesome. My god, you're tanky.
Well, yeah, Con is my high stat.
Really? I thought you would have went strength.
Well,
Because you
I'm a
really
half-
are a tank barbarian.
I'm a halfling.
FYI, I think a storm just rolled in, so if I disappear, give me about 10 minutes to reconnect. If I don't, assume I'm gone.
Okay.
That's not good.
Unfortunately, I can't control the weather.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Gareth.
Yeah. I'm going to swing at the weaker one, I guess. Try to finish it off. Alright. Yes. Guessing that
You
hits.
hit.
Oh.
5 damage. Oh wait, do I re-roll that one for being a halfling? Or is it just check?
No, it's only an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So no damage rolls.
Okay. That's what I thought.
All right. You don't get any sort of special thing for killing things. I don't know how barbarians work.
No.
All
They
right.
just hit things hard. And that's
Moving
it.
on. Grant the paladin.
Is no longer frightened.
Your source of your fear has exploded on the ground.
I'll take a step in and survey the room finally.
Yeah, you see creepy humanoid vine-looking things. They're like bunches of vines that have sort of like intertwined themselves into humanoid shapes.
And I see our fallen rogue friend over there.
Yep.
I'm going to take into here and swing at the scarecrow. Or whatever these vine things are.
They're blights.
It's funny, I called them shambling mounds. It's probably a whole different creature.
That's probably what the picture is. I just couldn't find a good picture of blights, so I just was like, I googled plant creature because like I couldn't find a good picture. 14 is a hit. And you take a good chunk out of him.
Awesome.
Before Syndra gets to go, Ceralis is going to... He draws his short swords and slashes at the... He slashes twice at the blight. And he misses twice. Wow. Alright. Oh no, he hits. We're looking at the wrong creature. And that one is dead.
Not so useless after all.
Alright, Syndicate.
In a rage over my owl's death, I'm going to Eldritch Blast this one.
Alright.
Whoops, exited out of my menu.